Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Russell and I make videos about iRacing here on YouTube. Can you believe it is already the end of Season 1 2021 of the iRacing calendar? I am here at Sebring in my trusty BMW for the final week of the IMSA calendar. Super excited about that. We have got, as usual, my setup for the BMW and my ghost cars available in the link in the description below. I'll do the usual thing. I'll do an in-car demonstration lap and then I'll go round each and every corner and break it down the way I see it. I hope you find it useful. If you do, please do hit like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel for more of this. And please do humour me just for 1 minute while I tell you a little bit about an exciting new league that I am doing at the moment. All you've got to do is head to my website, look at my gorgeous face one more time, and then scroll down, and you will find some details about American Classics. It's Season 2 of my GT3 league. It's starting in just 18 days, so hurry up and get signed up. All you've got to do is click details and sign up, or head over to the GT3 tab here, which has got all the details about the league. It's got a sign up sheet, it's got the Discord, it's got last season, which was UK Tour, all UK tracks. This season it's going to be American tracks, 6 of the best. And then if you're feeling extra saucy, I've got some little links here for next time you go shopping if you want to support the channel. That'd be awesome. So that is enough of that. Let's get on with the guide. Good luck here this week, guys. And if I don't see you before in my next video, hopefully I'll see you out there on the track this week. Cheers. Okay, so let's break down my 1 minute 56.325 here at Sebring. We're in the BMW M8. The temperature is 43 degrees on the track, and we are using race fuel. So as we hit the bridge, you'll notice ahead that the track kinks in slightly in towards the car. We're kind of aiming for that. We've got to watch the wall on the right. It does come at you very quickly. But just as we reach the kink in the wall, as the wall starts to turn in towards us, you can see right in front of us there's a very distinct sort of black line that starts. I use that as my braking marker as well as the kink in the wall. You can't always see this line particularly clearly on approach, and if you're in traffic, you're not going to see it at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to brake to about 50%, and then start really sort of gradually easing out of the brake, and we're going to want to end up in 4th gear by the time we hit the apex. Now, technically you can't see the apex right now, but if you actually look on the left hand side of the windscreen, above the wall, the inside of the track wall, you can see a little orange cone. Now that actually is stuck in the top of the fence right on the apex to denote the apex. So as I'm approaching, as I'm turning in, I'm keeping an eye on that cone to make sure it's where I want it to be. So we're going in, we're turning in, and we want to sort of hit the start of the yellow line here. And then we meet the cone, and then right on the inside of the track, just as we want to, getting close to the wall, that's when we start accelerating. We want to build up relatively steadily. You run out of track really, really quickly here. So you need to modulate your throttle, make sure you're good. And then we want to keep the car right over to the right, and we're watching these cones here on the right, and right after, or right on the set of 3 cones here, right over the line, that's when we're going to start our braking, and we're going to bring the car all the way down to 2nd by the time we hit the number 1 cone up ahead. And then as we cross that line and the track surface changes in colour, that's our kind of turn-in point. And we're going to trail out quite quickly, but we're watching for this inside curb. And ultimately what we're doing is we are turning in sync with this curb. We really want to follow this inside curb around. And then we're back on the gas. We're eating as much of this curb as we can. Now you will get off track here if you push it too hard, but actually, you know, the car's probably going to jump up a bit, and that's okay here, because we are just modulating the throttle. And what we want to do is get the car as far over to the right as we possibly can without getting a back wheel on the grass. Now it's very easily done, so you've got to be careful, but as far right as we can. We've got a very long sweeping left-hander, very, very technical corner this. So we're out as far right as we can make it. We've just started braking at the end of the curbing here. You can see there's tyre marks aplenty here. And we need to brake as gently as we can and just hold a very gentle trail on the brake just to draw the car in towards the inside curb. Now there's a very dodgy kink on the inside, so we've got to be careful here. So we're turning in. We want to bring the car, tease the car round as much as we can. And then right on this sharp kink here is where ideally we're not going to hit it, because the back of the car is going to swing around too quickly. You can catch it a bit, but you do have to watch this really sharp jut on the inside curb. But it does denote the point at which you really want to be back on the gas and nice and tight to the inside. So we build up the throttle very gently up round there. And then we're just going to gun it as quick as we can. We're keeping it on the right here to make the track short, and then as soon as this corner's done, the car's going to fade over to the left. Now we're already looking down towards the cones here on the left hand side, and with the track temperature being what it is, we actually want to start braking just before the cones, and we're going to full threshold brake as hard as we can without locking up those tyres, and really, really quickly paddle down through the gears. It's going to help draw out the speed in the car, and we want to get all the way down to 1st gear. We're going to start our turn in right as the white tyre walls on the right end here, as you can see. I'm going to get nice and tight to the inside curb. Really trailing out of the brake now. And then as soon as we're on the apex, we start on the accelerator, but we only go up to about 50%, maybe 60. We let it idle for a bit, and then as soon as the car's settled and pointing approximately straight, only then do we actually just put the gas right down and get ourselves up to 100%. Tight to the right, we're making the track short here. Try not to eat too much curb, and then mid-track, and then gradually fade into the left. We're trying to minimise our steering inputs as much as possible. It's a good little bit of straight track, this. Now, we've got quite a tight right-hander. We want to take this in second. You can use first, and you will get a little bit more turning on first. But the problem you'll have is that it's a little bit slidey on exit here. So I keep it in second just to keep the revs down a bit, help maintain some traction in the car. Does mean that I need to brake a tiny bit earlier, that being said. So we're going to brake just between the 4 and the 3 cones, probably more towards the 4 cones. Down to second. And then as the curb's starting on the left hand side, we want to start our turn in, really start fading out the brakes quite quickly here, because we want to have it suck us really tight into the inside curb and allow us to get on the accelerator really, really quickly here. But we are going to build it slow. We hovered at 70% there for a good amount of time. Tight to this inside curb. Really, really gentle on the steering angle, because the car does want to move around this section. So we don't really want to hit this curb. Really, really, really subtle, gentle steering action here. Car naturally wants to be over towards the right-hand side here. It's okay to let it a bit, but we've got another right-hander, so we do need to get over to the left-hand side of the track. I actually brake in a diagonal out towards the outside curb coming up. We want to brake a little way before the 3 cone up ahead. So we're braking diagonally out towards the curb before the 3 cone. We're going to get ourselves down to second. And then at our widest point, we're watching for the change in the track here. And you can see the tyre marks sort of steering round to the right. What we want to do is sort of try and keep the car out to the left until just before the track changes, and then start fading out the brakes to prompt the car to pull in tight to the inside curb. Again, we don't really want to touch this curb, and I was a little bit late on the gas here, but it was fine. I was carrying plenty of speed. Ideally we'd be in the accelerator already. We don't really want to chew this curb, but we do need to build up relatively gently. So I had a gentle trace up there to about 80-90%, waited for the car to settle from the apex, and then put my foot down. So we want the car to sort of float out sort of naturally mid-track here. In a race, we're watching for LMPs just to see what's going on. On this line here, we really want to have the left-hand tyres on this line down the middle of the track here, so that we can just naturally turn in to this curb, not go out wide at all here. We're just wasting distance by doing that. Eat a chunk here on the inside curb. You can actually take quite a lot of this, but don't push it too hard. And then we're going to brake just before the 3 cone here. And we want to get the car down to third. And then by the time we're hitting the last set of cones here, where one of them's fallen over, we want to really be thinking about pushing the car to the right to this inside curb. Really, really technical, complex this. And it always catches me out. It's tough around here. So we're in third, we're already starting our turn in, and we want to get nice and tight to this inside curb. If we get a wheel or two over the curb, It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you go too far, you are going to get slowed down. So you really, really, really want to get in tight here, because what this allows us to do is get on the accelerator earlier without pushing too wide out to the left here, because we've got this tricky kink in the left. So the sooner you can turn in to the right on the preceding corner there, the better. Now you can jump the curb here, as long as you don't jump it too early, otherwise the car might bottom out. And then we're going to push the car out a little bit wider, start braking about kind of 30-40% maximum, and then we're turning in and we're watching the curb on the right here. So tricky around here. The track limits are really tough to see. It's hard to see this apex, but basically we just trailed it in to the inside and we're back on the accelerator as we meet this inside curb. And we've got to be gentle on the gas here. Again, I'm only up to about 70-80% on the accelerator gradually, letting the car settle. And then when we know we're clean on exit, then we're up to 100%. And we're pushing really hard down here. This is the kind of final long piece of straight on this track. That last complex is horrible. It's my least favourite part of this track. And we're looking to the cones, and we're also looking for where the wall's ending on the right, because what we want to do is chop in soon. We're going to chop in now just before the 2 cone, so just after the sort of 3 cone, between the 2. We're pointing the car in at an angle, and then we're starting our braking right on this line, which is where the 1 cone is. So this is where we're starting our braking, and we're kind of braking diagonally out towards that building in the distance. Effectively, we are going to put a little bit of right hand steering on, but we want to do most of our braking out towards this line. We're going to get ourselves down to 3rd. We're already starting to come out of the brake. We really do want to continue coming out of the brake. Bring the car in tight to this inside wall, watching that yellow line. And then as soon as we're kind of straight to this wall and we know we've got a good kind of turning potential in towards the wall, we're back in the gas nice and gradually, keeping a lighter turning angle as we possibly can without running out of track on the exit. And that is our 1 minute 56.325 done here at Sebring. Don't forget to download my setup and my ghost cars. Let us know how you get on in the comments below. Always keen to hear how you folks are getting on. And yeah, good luck for racing this week. And thanks for watching this season. I can't believe this season's over. It's ended super quickly. But thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.